This video is on the factor theorem, which is the next part of the chapter. The factor theorem states if function p is equal to 0, then x minus p is a factor of whatever we have of our equation or expression. If x minus p is a factor, then fp equals 0. So if we have a factor of a expression, then fp is going to equal to 0. So let's look at a few questions, different questions they may ask. First one is x minus, so they'll tell you x minus 1 is a factor of 4x to the power 3 minus 3x squared minus 1 sort of an expression, and you have to prove that it's a factor. So we're going to use the second one here. So we know if f1 equals to 0, we know that it is a factor. So we'll just substitute it in. So 4 times 1 cubed minus 3 times 1 squared minus 1. And that equals 4 minus 3, which is 1, minus 1, which is 0. Therefore, it is a factor. Therefore, x minus 1 is a factor. Okay, so next up is you're given an expression and you're asked to find the factor of the expression. So what you could do here is you could substitute terms in. So just try different terms, different values. So that's 1 minus 10, add 19, add 30. Yeah, if I substitute 1 in, 1 minus 10, add 19, plus 30. That equals 40. So x minus 1 is not a factor. And you might have to try negative numbers as well, like minus 2 or minus 1 or whatever. But let's try f2. So that'll be 8 minus 40, add 38, add 30. That equals 116. Did I do that correctly? 8 minus 40, add 38, add 30. So that is 36. So it's getting smaller and smaller, close to 0, so I'm going to keep going up. Let's try 3, 27, minus 90, add 40, 57, add 30, that equals 24. So let's try the next one. So I'm going to try f4, which equals 64 minus 160, add 76, add 30 equals 10. Let's see. 64 minus 160, add 19, 38, 57, 60, 76. That gives me 10. And let's try 5 to the power 8. F5, so that will give me 125 minus 250, add 76, 95, add 30, and that equals 0. Therefore, x minus 5 is the factor of this expression, and then they might ask you to fully factorize this expression. So what you do is you would divide the polynomial, which we looked at in another video, with this, and then factorize it. Okay, so they might ask you to factorize it and fully factorize it. So that means you just divide it, like we looked at the last video. So you find the factor using the factor theorem, divide it, factorize it into 3 brackets, and then they might ask you to sketch the graph, which we looked at in previous videos. So last kind of question they can ask you is they'll give you the factor and they give you the expression with a constant missing, so a value missing, and you have to find that value. So here we know that f1 will equal 0. Therefore, if you substitute in, that is 5. I'm just going to do it. 5 minus 9, add 2, add 8 equals 0. Yeah, so 5 times 1 cubed minus 9 times 1 squared, add 2 times 1, add 8 equals 0. Collect the like terms, and then you just rearrange it. So 5 minus 9 equals minus 4, add 2. So that is minus 2 plus 8 equals 0. So, and therefore a equals 2. Okay, so these are the different type of questions they could ask for factor theorems. So they could ask you to find, so you find the factor, factorize the polynomial, so you put into 3 brackets, and then you would plot the graph.